Hello again. I did see a few people logged on, so I wanted to come back. Maybe this is a part 2, or maybe we can continue to expound upon the subject. Lord, I noticed that, with the camera, I should have gotten my little selfie stick to hold it further out, but that's okay. More on that blog post about taking your rightful place at the king's table. One of the things that I wrote, and what God was giving me in that morning's meditation, is that with Mephibosheth, we know the story, and the fact is that if you don't know the story, you can go to Second Samuel, I believe. It starts at chapter 4, verse 4, and then the meat of it is in 2 Samuel chapter 9. But the issue with Mephibosheth is that his grandfather was King Saul, and his father was Prince Jonathan. And this was a child that was royalty. Of course, he had all the privileges that royalty allowed. And his life, you can imagine. You're rich, you're wealthy, you're successful, you're living in the palace. Everything is going your way. But then one day, there is his King Samuel, King Saul is actually his grandfather. He dies. And the nanny, they must flee. The nanny grabs Mephibosheth, and as she's running, of course, the child was running by himself first, and she scooped him up, probably in an effort to flee a little bit faster. But in the process, she dropped Mephibosheth. And as she dropped him, that was the process where he became paralyzed. So for the rest of his life, he can no longer walk. Now, when you go to 2 Samuel chapter 9, what you'll find is there's a point where King David sends for Mephibosheth, and he sends his messengers to come to him and say that King David would like to see you. And, while I was reading that in my morning meditation, it brought back so many things. Because, as I said in my previous Periscope video, I'm a childhood abuse survivor. So I understand all too clearly how sometimes, no fault of your own, someone that was supposed to care for you, someone that was entrusted to nurture you and help you and provide for you throughout life, can definitely just do the exact opposite. And as a result of their treatment towards you, they leave you broken, they leave you wounded, and they leave you feeling defeated. And especially if that happens at an earlier portion of your life, it can just completely feel like you're useless. Matter of fact, Mephibosheth's name, in that verse, or chapter rather, 2 Samuel chapter 9, he refers to himself as a dead dog. Think about it. It could have been a dead cat, dead bird. Anything that's dead, that means it's useless. There's no more life in it. There's no more purpose in it. So he felt as if he was fit for nothing. And a lot of our lives, if we be honest, that's where we are. Or maybe that was where we were. And we're still trying to figure out, how do we press forward? We know we were made to live a life that was better than this. We just don't know how to get there. We don't know how to go from that point of brokenness to a point of restoration and wellness and hope, and how to move and press on forward. Well, fortunately, there's people like me who are willing to share our testimony, and we're willing to help and guide you and coach you through it. But the point of what God was giving me in that morning meditation, I felt it was so important to share that in the blog post, and now share this with you in this part 2, is that when we come from that state, and again, it could have been a bad business deal. Maybe it was a business partner that did you wrong and lied and manipulated and ruined your business for you. Or maybe they ran off with your vision or your money. Or it could have been a broken relationship. Maybe it's an ex-spouse. Maybe your children did you wrong. Whoever it was, it could have been your job and your boss. It doesn't matter. The pain is the pain, and no fault of your own. You're left figuring, how am I supposed to press forward? Well, if you've read the story of Mephibosheth, then you can read 2 Samuel chapter 9 to get the whole story. What happened was, because of his love for Jonathan, David was looking for anyone from that lineage to bless. And that's why he sent for Mephibosheth, because when he asked, was there anybody from the house of Jonathan that he can bless, someone brought up Mephibosheth's name and the fact that he was part of that lineage. Of course, they sent for him. It wasn't to set him up. It wasn't for revenge. The King David, because of his love for Jonathan, again, he saw him. He was blessed by the fact that he could bless any heir of that throne. And from there on, Mephibosheth sat at the king's table. And as beautiful as that a story of it is, I will never take anything away from the Bible. What God gave me in my morning meditation was, you are not Mephibosheth, and King David is not coming. Take your place at the king's table. And what God was helping me to see is that we have authority. We are part of a royal priesthood. The Bible tells us that. We have authority that we were given before we were even created by the blood of Jesus. So too many of us are looking for that business partner we can connect to, or that connection through networking. They can open doors for us. And certainly I've been a recipient of some wonderful people, still have great partnerships with them, and meeting new people, partnering with every day, that have just made opportunities come seemingly out of nowhere. But still, we cannot give all the credit to that one person, that organization, a group, a business, or anyone, because there's a certain God-given authority you had before you were even born. So what you need to do is be confident in that. You need to go ahead and press forward. You need to stop looking for people to give you permission. You need to stop looking for people to open doors. I'm not saying they won't, and I'm not saying it's not a good thing to have people open doors for you, but you need to proceed in full confidence that you are good enough, that you are uniquely positioned. And as long as you live authentically you and you press forward, God will do the unthinkable. So for any of you who are out there and you're wounded, you're feeling lost, you're struggling, and you're feeling broken, I just wanted to give you that bit of encouragement. The door is already open. You already have a divine authority. Just walk in full power. And for more inspiration, for more of that blog post I mentioned, or just to stay connected and in contact with me, certainly visit me at thejoyguru.net. And there it has all my information and other social media accounts where you can stay connected. God bless. And remember, take your seat at the king's table, because someone is waiting to be blessed with what you have.